Flat locking is usually done on a serger, but if you don't have one, you can use your sewing machine to do a faux flat lock. While not exactly the same, you can get a similar appearance for your garments. This video will show you how. A flat lock stitch is a zigzag or honeycomb type of stitch done on the right side of casual knit garments like sweatshirts, leggings, swimwear, and baby clothes. The point of the stitch is not only to keep a seam flatter for a less bulky appearance, but it can also reinforce the seam and give a nice decorative element on the right side. What types of fabrics does this work best on? You'll want to do it on knits that are somewhat stable, such as fleece, sweatshirt knit, velour, or double and interlock knits. When doing it on your sewing machine, you're going to start by first sewing a regular seam, but make sure you're using a narrow zigzag or stretch stitch if you want the seam to stretch when finished. You'll want to use a ballpoint or stretch needle on your sewing machine when sewing knits. After you stitch, press the seam open. If it's a thicker fabric like fleece, you can just finger press open. You can use all-purpose thread to sew, but since the flat lock stitch is meant to stand out, definitely feel free to use a contrasting thread color. Select a flat lock stitch at your machine. If you want something more traditional looking, you can go with this stitch. Or if you want something more unique, you can go with one of the wider decorative stitches. Just make sure to test it on your fabric to ensure it'll still allow the seam to stretch after sewing. Also, you might want to consider using an open toe or decorative stitch presser foot. Or if you're worried about stretching the fabric, you can use a walking foot. Put your seam under the presser foot right side up. Top stitch the length of the seam, keeping the seam line centered. Try to sew as accurately as possible because the contrasting thread colors make imperfections more obvious. When finished, turn it over to look at the wrong side. As an option, you can trim away the excess seam allowance fabric past the edge of your stitches to make it look neater. Here's what it looks like on the wrong side and on the right side when finished. While it's not a true flat lock, the sewing machine can still give your clothes a nice professional look. Our book, Professor Pincushion's Beginner Guide to Sewing, Garment Making for Nervous Newbies, is now available to order. Go to professorpincushion.com/books or click on the link in the description to see a list of vendors where you can purchase it.